sister. How y'all doing, people? I got a call last minute from moms. I like Miss Wanda, and she asked me how much would it cost for me to come perform. And I didn't mean to laugh at her, but I couldn't curl my lips to charge her to come up here to perform. I couldn't see myself. I couldn't see myself doing that. And so I want to apologize for if I laughed or whatever, but I didn't, you know, I could never do that. I've been here since day one. I will continue to be here. I will continue to push the movement, continue to raise the relevancy, continue to be on the front lines when it comes to not only Brother Oscar Grant, but when it comes to you and I and you, and understanding the importance of when we say Black Lives Matter, then when we look at the globalization and we say all lives matter, because the only way for us to inhabit this planet as a people, we must do with the people, for the people, by the people, because we all are one people. As one people, we must understand first that as an individual, we have to regain our self-respect. Like my brother Jascari just said, we started at the top. We weren't slaves, we were kings. We were queens. My mothers and my ancestors and my forefathers, they were kings and queens. They were brain surgeons without the modern day technology. They had arrow designs and hieroglyphics before anyone even understood what an airplane was. We had the mind state of geniuses, but had been poisoned, and we allow the poison to still resonate in our modern day thinking. That poison dwindled us down to make us not care about each other, to make us so far involved into this technology where we no longer even speak to each other. We use hand gestures and head nods. You see somebody walking, you be like, "What's up, bruh?" And he won't even say anything to you. He just hits you with the, "How you doing, ma'am?" And she's so afraid of us, she clutches her purse. I was at my neighborhood earlier before I came here, and there was a lady who had a bag in her hand, and I said, "Ma'am, do you need any help?" And just because of the way that I was dressed, because it's cold, she was so frightened that I asked her for help that she sped up across the street, and I didn't understand it. We've become afraid of each other. We have to look at each other and say, "I'm not afraid of you," because I'm not afraid of my brother. If I'm walking in a dark alley, and if that's my fate, then let it be my fate. But I'm not afraid of my brothers. I'm not afraid of anything. Fear itself is something that we must understand. But only as a people can we understand this. Hate is not something that's inherited. You teach hate. I do a backpack giveaway every year. I do a toy drive, I do a turkey giveaway, I do a silence to violence events all throughout the summer. I do victims of domestic abuse during Valentine's Day, and I do events, community events all throughout the year. And not saying that to advertise my accolades. What I'm saying that is to continue to build the communication in the community so we can understand each other, so we can kind of get a drift to one another. But what I was going to say was, at my backpack giveaway this year, I had some red backpacks, I had some blue backpacks. And a young Latino lady came upon, and I go to give her a blue backpack, and she said, "My mother won't let me take this backpack." Now, some of that may go over some of you guys' heads because you don't understand the politics. But those who do understand the politics, that's something that's taught to that little girl. I won't get deep into the politics. If you don't know, then ask a question. But we can't teach our kids these things. We can't teach our kids how to hate each other. Black on black crime is no greater than brown on brown crime. It's all a crime. It's self-hatred. Because if we remember, we all evolved from the same life. We all are kids of Lucy. We all are children that we spawn and we've grown and go how we are. When I look at a person, I don't see color. I see a human being. And for us to understand that, we must understand that human beings mean a lot of things. All human lives matter. Today we're not celebrating the death of Oscar Grant. We're celebrating something that's more monumental than what we ever thought it would be. When Messerly killed Oscar Grant and assassinated that brother, he had no idea that years later that we would rise up, that we would do something and we would bring consciousness and togetherness, and we would bring a thought of cultivation, of building for ourselves. We have to continue building for ourselves because nobody gonna do it for us. We got a $70,000 fine for protesting that these brothers and sisters gotta pay. And we ain't giving up a dime. Ain't gonna give up a dime. But yet we patronize with these bars because we got to get to work every day. When we start taking money from them, then that's when it becomes important. Nobody cares until their money start missing. People forget what it is to be hungry until your food supply runs low. You look down on someone, but you forget that you just a mistake away. I talked to a homeless man, and he told me, he said, man, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do anything. I'm just a multiple mistake maker. And I said, huh? He said, man, I done made a couple mistakes, man, that didn't put me in this position. He said, but you can never look down on me because you just a mistake away. Whether that be a big mistake or a small mistake. We a family member away from being homeless. There's people that live with their mothers and still talk about people who homeless. We a eviction note away from being out on the street. We a meal away from starving. We $1 away from being late on our rent, and let's say the landlord is tripping that week. We can't look down on somebody. A giant's worst mistake is overlooking his enemy, and his enemy is at his ankles. The deadliest thing can be killed. It can be in a small parasite. Can kill a dinosaur. Let's stop looking down on people. Let's look each other in our eyes. Because when we can look in our eyes, real eyes recognize the truth and real lies. Therefore, we're able to build. Therefore, we're able to communicate. If we can teach communication like we can teach fornication, or teach abomination, or teach any these other things that continue to destroy us in our communities, then we can teach building, and we can teach togetherness. We can teach love. You can show love. I don't have to know you to say that I love you, because I'm a person and I love all human beings. You're not my enemy. I'm down here today, man, to be a part of this. Not to come up here to be seen, but to let my part be known that I partake in the redevelopment in our communities. The construction, because there was once time that I led to the destruction of my community. I'm no saint, and I'm happy in my sins, because my sins have taught me to grow from those things. My mistakes have taught me what I've learned. And once you learn something, don't condemn that as who has no knowledge of what it is, because remember, there was one point in time when you didn't know what you know now. So how can we condemn someone who doesn't know? There has to be some type of line of education, some line of talk, some line of thinking. Let's go back to being thinkers, y'all. I don't want to perform today because it's bigger than music. I just wanted to come up here and for moms, who I like to call her, and I check on her from time to time with random texts. I know it's shocking, but I just want to let you know that you still have a son here. I lost my mother, and I look at you as a mother, and all black women in the community, and all women in the community who have lost a son, who has lost a nephew, who have lost a brother, who have lost a cousin. As a black man, as a black child, I am your son, and I'm going to end it with I am Oscar Grant. Thank you, guys.